Hey guys, it's Alana with the FriendlyBands SunshineLoom. Today we're going to be making the cuff band. Before we begin, let's pick out our colors. I already have my rubber bands organized in the lid that I keep underneath my SunshineLoom. Today we're going to be using black, aqua, and lime green. Let's get started with step 1, setting our pattern. We're going to begin on the start side. And for the cuff band, you're actually going to be making a triple, 2 doubles, and another triple in terms of laying down the pattern. So I'm going to start off from 24 to 1 using black, 24 to 25 using black, and 24 to 48. Then going forward, I'm going to go black one here, and one more, then one in this row, and then just moving forward 2 of each color. So I'm starting to approach my sizes here. I'm going to make this band a little bit bigger. We're going to end on peg number 19 here, going forward with 1 black to peg number 20. We're going to go back over to the start side and do 2 of each color moving forward. The pattern I'm making today is sort of a chevron pattern, so it's like zigzags. And I'm approaching my end here. And I'm going to do 2 black in the center row going forward. Come back over to the start side. And again, we're going to do 2 of each color all the way around. And for the inside row, I'm going to do 3 black going forward. And on this side, I'm going to take the rubber band off of peg 20 and pull it over to peg number 44 and do the same thing from the inner circle. Make sure that goes over both pegs. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the start side and lay the crossbars. So this is where the cuff is unique from the triple band. We're going to skip these 4 here, and we're going to put a crossbar, a loose rubber band on peg number 2, and then a crossbar going over. Your crossbar is a right side up triangle. Now this aqua band here pulls forward onto here, so that's the color of the crossbar. This lime pulls over here, so this crossbar will be lime. Then you just go all the way around, adding your single band and then your crossbar. Okay, we're approaching our end here. We're going to skip the last 4 pegs on this side as well, and then we're going to put a double loop on the very last peg. So attach a rubber band to peg 44, twist, and loop over. Okay, and this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 1 of the cuff. Alright, moving on to step 2 of phase 1. You're going to go over to the hook side. We're going to pull back this double loop and grab the top rubber band. That rubber band should go to your inner circle. And we're going to pull back the double loop again and grab the next rubber band. That should go to your outer circle. Then in again for the center circle. Now I like to hook each circle independently, so I do the inner circle first, then the middle, and then the outer, so I don't skip any rubber bands. So you're going to pull forward all of the rubber bands in each row. Make sure you get inside this triangle here made by the crossbar and inside the rubber band you just hooked forward. Okay, and then we pull forward to peg 24. We're going to go back over and do the center circle. So push back the crossbar and pull forward. Push back and forward. Just do the same thing all the way around. Okay, then we hook forward to peg 24 and go back over to the hook side and do the outer circle. And for the outer circle, you want to make sure you're inside the loop that you put across for the next crossbar, and also inside this triangle here. We're going to pull forward, push back, and forward. Okay, then we hook forward to peg number 24. So you're going to stick your FB hook through all of the rubber bands on peg 24, attach a rubber band, turn your hook, and pull through. And I'm just going to put an FB link on this side to secure it. Alright, and this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 1. Now we're going to gently remove our creation from the sunshine loom by gently tugging from side to side. Okay, and this end can just hang free for the time being. So we're going to set this aside and lay down our next set of rubber bands, which is going to be the design for essentially a double. So you can see our pattern so far is just leading upwards like that. So now we're going to do the other side going downwards. Okay, so we're going to start over here on the start side. And our first rubber band is going to be black, and that's going to go from peg 24 to 48. And then 24 to 25. And we're going to do another black rubber band from peg 48 to 49. And now we're just going to do 2 of each color going forward until we reach our desired size. Okay, so we're approaching our end here. For the inner circle, you're going to go forward with 2 black at the end. Then we're going to go back over to the start side, and we're going to do the 2 colors going forward all the way around. Okay, now we're approaching our end here. We're going to do 3 black going forward, 2 forward first, and then 1 into the center, just like that. Right, so now we're going to go back around and set our crossbars. So go back to your start side. And again, we're going to skip these first 3 here, and then you're going to grab your existing triple that you've already made, and we're going to attach it to the pegs here. So what's great about the Sunshine Loom is that its circular design allows your bracelet to sit just on the inner circle, so it stretches it out less when you do this step. So if you can see here, there's a single band and then a band that hooks around this crossbar on this side. So we have a single band that's not attached to a crossbar, and then this next band, these 2 hook over this rubber band here. So if that's going to hook over, you're going to pull the inner band from the first triple and then also the hanging band off of the side. You're going to skip the first 3 pegs and pull both rubber bands of both crossbars across both of these pegs. So this is your first row and this is your second row. You're going to go across the 2 pegs of your second row. And then you're just going to keep going all the way across. You may have a rubber band that gets kind of tucked inside. Just pull that out and stretch both crossbars across. And in this way, you can extend any bracelet and make it go all the way around, as well as making it wide. If you get a little lost as to which rubber bands go where for this design, you can also look at the middle circle, because the middle circle, the rubber band that folds forward, folds onto the color of the crossbar. So this black rubber band will fold forward onto this crossbar, this lime green onto that crossbar. Alright, so once we get to the end, you're going to stretch out the double loop here. So there's my double loop, and you can see that my crossbar goes on these 2 pegs here, and we skip the last 3. You shouldn't have any extra crossbars on the end. Right, now we're going to take a double loop to the last peg, so attach a rubber band to peg 67, twist, and loop over. And this is what your Sunshine Loom should look like after step 1 of phase 2 of the cuff band. Now we're going to move on to step 2 of phase 2. We're going to hook our bracelet from the hook side. So as usual, we're going to pull back the double loop with our hook, turn our hook over, and grab the top rubber band. For me, that goes to the middle circle. and then grab the rubber band going forward. And now I'm just going to do the inner circle first and then move on to the middle circle. So you're going to hook forward, make sure to keep inside the crossbars as you go across. Okay, now we're approaching our end. You're going to hook forward and then hook inward to peg number 24. I'm going to go back over to the hook side and do the the middle circle. So we're going to pull back on our double loop and hook forward. Push back and forward. Make sure when you're pushing back, you're getting both of the crossbars and just grabbing the bottom rubber band. Our last one, we're going to hook forward onto peg 24. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 2. Now we're going to move on to removing our pattern. So we're going to use our FB hook and put it through all of the rubber bands on peg number 24. Then we're going to grab a black rubber band, attach it to our hook, turn over, pull through, and put the rubber band back onto your FB hook. Now grab an FB link, tug, and slide that right on. And then we're going to gently tug from side to side, removing our creation so far. Okay, so this is what it should look like after phase 2. We still have a little bit of rubber band hanging off the end, but the first crossbar is done. We do 5 rows to 1 crossbar. This crossbar is going to connect the 2 sides, but we're doing 2 pentabands side by side. So we're moving on now to phase 3. So we're going to start over here on the start side, and we're going to be making another double band. So again, we're going to go forward from 24 to 48 and 24 to 25. Our center row is going to get 1 more black going forward. And our middle row is going to get 2 more. Okay, now we're just going to do 2 of each color going forward until we complete our size. Okay, we're approaching our size here. The inner row is going to get 2 rubber bands. And then we're going to go back over to the start side and do 2 of each color moving forward. Okay, and this row is going to get just one black rubber band at the end, and that's going to go across from peg 43 to 67. So now we're going to go back over to the start side and set our crossbars. We're going to skip the first 3 here and put one aqua, and just do a single crossbar, no double loop, just a single across. And then we're going to complete our pattern doing 2 of each color all the way around. So 2 lime, 2 black, 2 aqua, and just keep doing that until you reach the end. Okay, we're approaching our end here. You're going to end on a black rubber band, and we're going to skip these last 3, but we're going to put a double loop on the last peg. So attach, twist, and loop. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 3. Now we're going to go back over to the start side. We're going to turn it over towards me, and I'm going to take my bracelet from the side that has the FB links, pull across your crossbar over the existing crossbar you just laid, and your colors should match up all the way around. Okay, so that's our last crossbar, and we're going to skip these 2 pegs, and then we're all set for step 2 of phase 3. So we're going to be over here on the hook side. You're going to use your FB hook and pull back the double loop and pull up the top rubber band, and that should go to your middle circle, and push back and pull forward. Then I'm going to hook my entire inner circle first. Make sure you push back on both of the crossbars, and then we'll do the middle circle. Okay, and we pull forward to 24 and go back over to the hook side. Then you're going to push back and hook forward. Okay, then we're going to hook forward to peg 24. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 3. Okay, now we're going to use our FB hook and put it through all of the rubber bands on peg number 24. Put our rubber band on our hook, turn, reattach. Grab your FB link and stretch out that rubber band. Slide on your link. And we're going to gently tug from side to side. Okay, so we should have a little bit of crossbar hanging off the edge. You can just pull those out if you need to. And now we're going to do our final triple of the cuff. So we're going to go back over to our start side. And you're going to lay down 3 black. So one going from 24 to 48 to 25 and to 1. Then we're going to go forward on 48 and on 1. And then we're just going to do 2 of each color all the way around. We're going to do 2 for this row, and go back over to the start side, and do 2 of each all the way around. For the center, we're going to do 3 black. And then we're going to head back over to the start side and do the outer circle. And we're going to do 2 black for this last outer circle. Now we're going to pull forward the rubber band that we just laid down, leave it in and out of the pegs there so it's in between, and do the same for the inner circle. Now we're going to go back to the start side and do the crossbars. So you're going to have the link on the start side. We're going to skip the first 3, and we're going to lay crossbars going all the way around. And so now we're going to lay our crossbars. So we're going to skip these first 4 pegs here and lay triangles going right side up all the way around. Okay, and then we're going to skip these last 3 and grab a single rubber band attached to peg 44, twist, and loop back over. And this is what the Sunshine Loom should look like after step 1 of phase 3 of the cuff band. Now we're going to move on to step 2. So grab your FB hook and head over to the hook side. And you're going to pull back the double loop, grab the top rubber band. That should go to your inner circle. And pull back. And this may happen to you. I grabbed the wrong rubber band. You can see it sort of doesn't just move freely, it grabs other things on the way. So you're going to want to try that again. So I'm just going to pull off the correct rubber band and stick that onto peg 19. And this one's going to move forward. So you should have 3 freely moving rubber bands hooked around your double loop. Then I'm going to hook forward on the inner circle all the way around, making sure to push back my crossbars as I go. Okay, we're going to pull forward to peg 24 and then go back over to the hook side. I'm going to do my center row. And again, make sure you pull back that crossbar before you hook forward. Push back, pull up. And we're going to move back over to the hook side. And we're going to do the outer row. Here we are back at the start side. You're just going to hook forward to peg 24 and put your hook through all of the rubber bands on peg 24. Attach a black rubber band, turn and pull through, and attach our FB link. And this is what your Sunshine Loom should look like after step 2 of phase 4. So we're done locking our pattern in place. Now we're going to remove our creation. So just gently tug from side to side, loosening the rubber bands as you go. What's nice about our circular design is that the Sunshine Loom makes patterns go all the way around your wrist without extending them lengthwise, but now you just learned how to extend them widthwise, so you have wider bracelets. Now you're going to attach each end to the other side. If it's easier for you, you can put it onto a peg and then slide on the link that way. So it's stretched out more. The link slides on super easy. And that's just my double loop I'm putting onto a peg, stretching the bracelet, and attaching my link. So I have my double loop here, attach it to a peg, pull, and attach my link. And there you have it. It's the cuff by the FriendlyBands SunshineLoom. That's 10 rows total, and you're all set. Bye guys. See you later.